All right, it is Thursday, June 28th, and this is a meeting to check in on community outreach tasks for Backdrop CMS. First on our agenda is website. So I don't think there's been any change here since our last outreach meeting. We have work we want to do on the modules, themes, and layout pages that'll help notify people which modules, themes, and layouts are ready today for their Backdrop site. We also want to add a new security page that'll inform people about how Backdrop handles security issues. And I don't think we have any content for that yet, so if someone wants to draft something up, that would be fantastic. Modules, themes, and layouts system needs development help. So if we have anyone who wants to develop those, that would be good too. Also, things we're doing on our website is writing up blog posts. Recently, Backdrop has joined the Software Freedom Conservancy, and so we have a draft of a blog post link in the agenda for the Conservancy. This basically mirrors the post the Conservancy made, just saying Backdrop is part of Conservancy. I would love it if we could add a paragraph or two to this post that more explicitly states what it means for Backdrop to be a part of the Software Freedom Conservancy. I don't know if that should be a paragraph about what it means to us in terms of software freedom, or if we should say something more specifically about what it means in terms of our donors being able to make tax-deductible contributions, about us having legal protection, about us having a network of other open source software projects that we can use for advice or direction when we need it. But anything like that that I think can be more than a press release, but actually kind of get to the heart of what it means for us to be part of this organization, I think would be valuable. So I don't know if anyone has any time or interest in working on that, but it's another thing where we're just going to need help from someone who's motivated to wrap that up to get this blog post ready. Nate, if you can make us a bulleted list of things you want to put into your blog post, the folks at Facet have some extra time to work on stuff for us, because these other posts are sort of in a pending state. We might be able to get something else done. So that might be something we can work on in the time being. Also, in conjunction with getting our new security page up, it might be nice to write a blog post about security. I know Gregory wrote one a couple months ago. I'm not sure where we stand on getting that published, but that might be good. Get that blog post up, and then we could send a newsletter at the same time, or get the page up in a blog post, just to let people know what's going on in the world of security for Backdrop. There's also a bunch of other ideas we've had for things to put in the blog, and we have an issue on, or a tag in the Backdrop CMS.org queue. It's a tag or an issue. It's a label, I guess that's what they're called there, for blog posts. It includes stuff like every new release of Backdrop, community spotlights, integration with external services. And if anyone else has anything they want to write a blog post on for backdropcms.org, you are welcome to log into the site, draft a blog post, hit save. It won't be published right away, but we'll get it into queue for getting published on the site. If you want to write a blog post but don't have any ideas, check the issue queue for that tag, and you'll probably be able to find some things that would make good blog posts. Newsletters. Speaking of newsletters, we want to send a newsletter announcing that Backdrop is part of the Conservancy. We have a draft for that too. I would love it if we could get the blog post up with a little more content before we send that newsletter. We also are blocked on figuring out bigger picture, how are we going to handle donations for Backdrop. I'll create a PMC issue about that, and we can figure out how we want to handle that there. I'm not sure it needs to be a PMC issue, but I would like to not be the one making the decision. So that might be a good place to do it. If we feel like the decision should be something that everybody in Backdrop should have a say in, we can make an issue in the public queue somewhere. But it would be good to get that approved by some people first. Other things we want to send in terms of newsletters is we have a thank you message that's ready to send out to our donors that basically thanks anyone who has made a contribution to Backdrop in the past, either via our Indiegogo campaign, direct donations through PayPal, or by buying a t-shirt or hoodie at a camper conference to just say thanks for supporting Backdrop. And then we have other ideas about newsletters that could be sent, hopefully mirroring content that's on the blog to help bring people back to our site. So if we have a security post or a community spotlight or anything like that that we think is of value, we can plug those things in the newsletter and bring people back to the site to read more about it. We would also love to make more videos of Backdrop, and this can either be videos of presentations at camps and conferences, it can be how-to videos, it can be show and tell videos for things that people maybe have made. On our list for things that could be great videos is how to create unbranded pages, how to update a Pantheon site, or how to port tests from Drupal 7. Those are 3 things that I've been thinking about doing, but if anyone has a favorite feature of Backdrop that you want to show off, I would definitely encourage, you can use Google Hangouts to do a direct feed to your YouTube channel if those 2 are hooked up together, or you can use any other screen share software you're comfortable with. Make a 5-minute video. It doesn't have to be super fancy, just kind of, this is Backdrop and I want to show off this thing. And then once you have it ready, you can post it on YouTube. Let us know about it, either Twitter, Gitter, or any other mechanism. And we'll add it to the Backdrop YouTube channel for promotional things or favorite features or whatever that channel is called. So there's also a label in the backdropcms.org queue for videos to be made. And so if anyone wants to see ideas for things to make videos on, that would be a good place to check. Tweets. In general, we have an issue number 439 in the backdropcms.org queue that lists a bunch of stuff that we could be tweeting about at any time. Obviously, if there's something timely going on in the world of Backdrop, we'll try and tweet about that too. So if anyone has anything going on right now that I think we should share about, it is a good time to let us know. So you can tweet at us. If you're on Twitter, you can email us, info@backdropcms.org. You can mention it in Gitter, and we'll get it in the tweet schedule. Another thing we're trying to do with community outreach is to get Backdrop mentioned in places that aren't Backdrop related, so not necessarily on backdropcms.org, but other websites to try and reach other audiences. If anyone has any ideas about other places Backdrop should be promoting itself or where other people could be mentioning it, we are definitely all ears for places people might be interested in learning about Backdrop. We have an issue in the queue for that. It's issue number 126. So if you have ideas, you're watching this later and you're like, oh, I wish Backdrop were at X, go ahead and plug it into that issue and we'll check on that. Events. Did we have an outreach meeting since Twin Cities Drupal Camp? I think we did. I think I admitted in that meeting that I had not written up a blog post about Twin Cities, but I thought it would probably be a good idea. I still haven't written a blog post about it, but it's still a good idea. I'd love to get a recap in there about that. And then the next event that's on our event calendar right now is Drupal South. But if anyone knows of anything else that's coming up in the next few months that we should mention, if anyone has an event they want added to the website, anyone with an account can set one up there. And they're moderated, but they'll get published as long as they are legit. Twin Cities Open Source CMS Unconference. That's exciting. So let's see when that is. October 13th. So if you are in the Twin Cities area and want to talk about open source content management systems. Anything you want to add about that, Tim?
No, I just wanted you to be aware of it.
Okay.
I added Backdrop to it, and we'll talk about Backdrop there, but it's going to be a small event.
Well, feel free to add it to the backtopcms.org website if you want to, and you can post a link there, and that way anyone who's on the site can find out about it that way.
Good.
That's great. Let's see. Content strategy map, if you're interested in all of the stuff we're trying to talk about for Backdrop, is located in the Backdrop CMS.org issue queue as well. And of course, we are always open to new ideas about how to reach people, where to reach people, what it is people want to hear. Oh yeah, Drupal Camp LA, that was a great recommendation. I think that's soon. Drupal Camp LA. All right, so this is July 21st through 22nd, so about a month. That's a great idea. I'll add that to Backdrop's website. That should be there. Anything else? So this is the part of the meeting where we ask and see if anyone has any other ideas about things Backdrop should be doing to get the word out.
If I'm submitting sessions to another camp, and I'm thinking about submitting a Backdrop session, should I check with you guys, see if you're planning to be there, or
I mean, I would just say do whatever you want to do. If it does turn out that there's going to be multiple people at an event talking about Backdrop, usually the event organizers will connect us because they don't want duplicate content. But if the content is distinct enough, they might decide they will take those sessions anyway. So I would say if you want to check with us, you can, but I definitely wouldn't say that's a requirement for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely don't want anybody to feel like, we have any kind of exclusivity on presenting on Backdrop. Really, anyone that has any familiarity with Backdrop, even just like, I just installed Backdrop and this is my first impressions, like even presentations of that sort at meetups or camps, we welcome all of it. Even people that maybe weren't particularly impressed with Backdrop, just the more people we have talking about Backdrop, the better.
Yeah, it's actually better if it comes from not us, because a lot of people have heard our talk before and they've seen us talk about Backdrop and they know what we're going to say. But having new people with new experiences and new impressions speaking from different perspectives is more valuable. So
I submitted a couple of sessions to Drupal North, including like intro to Backdrop, and the intro part is part of like, it's like if you guys were going to be there, that you'd be covering that, right? So why should I bother submitting the same thing? But I assumed I would have heard if you were going to be there, so I just went ahead and did it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
It didn't get selected, but on the other hand, it's showing up now in the list of submitted sessions, so I think there's some exposure there, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great. All right, is there anything else you want to add? Anyone? No. Okay. Well, we have another meeting in half an hour where we're going to check in on active development tasks that are going on for Backdrop Core. And there's always an open Q&A section at the end of every meeting. So even if you have a question not related to development, you're welcome to pop into any meeting and ask it at the end. So let's regroup again in half an hour and talk then. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks, Jen. Bye.
Bye.